The setting up, it says meeting is streaming, and then it says unsupported. Let's find out. Let's find out for streaming. Bear with me here. Only the phone can tell me now if it's working.
It says live on the top left.
Yeah, let me go to the page. If you're here, hello, we're happy. We are. Look, see, we're there.
Oh, look, it's
We're
us.
live.
Technology is working.
We did it. What's up, guys? I'm Coach Christine. If you're here, say hello. We're streaming through Zoom. I'm going to open up my Facebook app too. So if any comments pop in, we can answer comments on the Facebook app. I'm going to try not to get a weird reverb by having multiple things going on at the same time. I'm Coach Christine Meredith. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Mare.
Yay, we're so excited to see you guys and just stoked to be here to tell you a little bit about the Goal Smashing webinar. Yay, Denise is watching. I saw something pop up on my app. So excited to have you here, Denise. I know Denise signed up for the webinar, and we're stoked to have you here. So here's our intention for this little info session. It's going to be quick. It's going to be super fun. We're testing out some unknown technology. So thank you for rolling with the punches with us as always. Most of you guys here in my Coach Christine community know a lot about me, know who I am. So I wanted to give Mare a little bit of an opportunity to introduce herself as our special guest for this webinar. And I'm so excited that she's going to be joining us and bringing just her unique perspective, different experiences, different abilities and skills, and all kinds of fun things. So why don't you kick us off, Mare, by just telling us a little bit about yourself and why folks should be excited to have you on the webinar, although I could tell them too. But let's hear it from you. Go for it.
Yeah, my name is Mare. I'm a certified personal trainer and an aerial arts, dance, and yoga instructor, bodybuilding competitor, and the owner of In the Air with Mare Fitness Coaching and co-owner of Tahoe Flow Artists Entertainment Company. And for me, fitness is a stress relieving creative outlet for me and really just what brings me happiness and reduces my stress and anxiety. And when I make the time for it, my whole life is better. And so I want to be able to share that with other people and help them find their joy within fitness and moving their body and yeah, helping them do what they love for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, I love that. I know you told me when we were talking last week that recently that particular idea of like how your physical activity affects your mental health has been like a kind of come to the forefront for you. And I was like totally feeling you on that. Can you tell us just like a little bit more about that recent experience that you had?
Yeah. Just this last year has been very difficult. I kind of wasn't prioritizing my own well-being necessarily. And so that really started to take a toll on my mental health and my anxiety and, you know, that tight chest you get and the tight throat and, you know, and then it made me realize like, oh, I haven't been going to the gym. I haven't been really like dancing or doing aerial, doing the things that I love. And so I've gotten myself back on track and just instantly, just the same day you know, get up and make myself go to the gym, I instantly just feel better, feel more like myself. And so yeah, it's a reminder to fill your own cup so that you're able to give to other people.
Yep, there it is, folks. Coaches go through the same thing as you do. I have gone through it. It's like a thing I have to remind myself in certain times of my life too. It's like, I love how you were able to draw that connection for yourself. And I think that's something that can be hard to do when you haven't gone through it a bunch of times. Like, I feel like I do it like much more intuitively now. I'm like, something's off. What is it? Oh yeah, I haven't been working out, or I haven't been on it with my nutrition, or
Mhm.
I haven't been doing my meditating or whatever it is. Um, so it's like you have to always constantly relearn the same lessons. And it doesn't matter if you are necessarily somebody who's a fitness professional or whatever, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, and I think the community is a big part of that too, because when you're like immersed in community, whether it's your dance community or your studio community or whatever, it's like a daily reminder of doing the things that bring you joy and fill your cup. When you get disconnected from that, you just don't have that as much, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you forget and or you separate yourself because you're maybe going through a hard time and then you reconnect with those people in your community and you're like, "Oh yeah, like you bring me joy too. Like I need you."
Yes, yes, yes. Denise was saying that that's what she loves about this group in particular is that community piece is so important and we connect with each other. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I've been like thinking about wanting to be a part of this, or I maybe want to go to this webinar, but I'm not sure. Maybe they'll judge me, or maybe I'll be too scared to ask the questions that I need to ask. Like, this is just like our open call to like, hey, everybody is welcome. And we're all here working towards similar outcomes for ourselves. And this can be fine-tuned to your particular needs as well. What we're going to do in the webinar is a goal setting practice that I've done with my clients for years. I've done it on my own within my own coaching company for 2 years now, and I've did it before that when I was working with other coaching companies. And I've done tons of goal setting in my career, and I'm sure you have too, Mare, being coming from the dance world or the sporting world is always, my thing. Um, and it's evolved a lot for me and for my clients over the years, but it's always just such an impactful touch point. Um, and I know you and I have been talking about how I like to go through my old notebooks and like look at what I
Mhm.
did last year and think about what I've done before. Can you tell us a little bit about your goal setting and achieving experience, or what's your favorite part of it?
I'm very much a goal-oriented person. I take a lot of joy in setting goals and accomplishing them. Like I like that. And they range from like going to the gym 5 days a week or like competing in a bodybuilding competition, which is like a very big goal. And I've done that twice. I might do it again this year. But it's very difficult and it's really taught me the difference between motivation and discipline. And discipline is when that's when you show up even when you're not motivated. So that I've learned a lot about achieving my goals by staying disciplined and also giving myself some grace when I do feel like I fall behind or I miss something and not getting too hard on myself because stress doesn't help anything. So like being kind to yourself as well and just getting right back on it after you let yourself fall off for that day or whatever and um, just keep going. So
Yeah.
I love setting goals. I feel like I need them in order to get things done that I want to accomplish.
Yeah. I think one of the things that you made me think of that I love about goal setting or that I've learned to love about it is because I used to be a very black and white person. And I was like, if I set this goal, I have to achieve it. I would set like maybe a very lofty goal sometimes too, not necessarily a realistic goal all the time. And then maybe you've had this experience of like not meeting a goal and then feeling like really disappointed, right? And or like kind of beating yourself up about it, like you were just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a learning curve there of like, oh, I need to give myself grace because ultimately, personally, when I do that to myself, I set myself even further back, right? And like you were just saying
Yeah.
about stress creeping in, and then, that has all kinds of unhealthy implications for me typically. Um, I think that that's an important part of goal setting. And for those of you guys that are either coming or considering coming to this workshop, we're going to build in a lot of that. So just heads up. There's going to be a lot of like thinking about one of my favorite quotes, actually. Most of you guys who have worked with me before know I love James Clear. And he wrote Atomic Habits. And one of my favorite quotes from him is when you're thinking about your goals, I'm going to paraphrase, thinking about not what you can accomplish on your best day. And that's a mistake a lot of us make, right? Like, especially when we're like in this place and we're goal setting, we're like, I feel so good. I'm going to do like the hardest, craziest thing. But thinking about what you can actually accomplish on your worst day, right? So when you're having a hard time, and my joke that I make with my clients is like, when your cat pukes on the bed and when everything goes wrong, like what can you actually do on that day? And if you set a goal to achieve that's achievable even on a hard day, um, you will be so blown away by what you can achieve on your good days, right?
Mhm.
So your goal should be scalable and something that is not set in stone, but is malleable and can change over time. And then once you learn to kind of set a goal like that, then you're a little bit more likely to have some more grace with yourself,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, and setting those like tiny habits that compound over time. And like, I haven't told you this, but I hurt my ankle on
Hmm.
Sunday.
Mm.
And, you know, being injured just feels like the end of the world when activity is your life. But like today, I went to the chiropractor and he did some work on it, did light therapy, got it wrapped up, and I've just been having the little goals of making sure I wrap it and I elevate it and I ice it when I'm laying in bed, and those small things that I can do to then set me up for success later.
Yeah, I love that. And that's exactly what big goal setting should be like. It's like, what are those small sustainable things that are going to build up over time? So if you keep doing those things, your ankle's going to get better. And
Mm-hmm.
then you get to do whatever the bigger goal, right? That might be holding you back from is. On the flip side, if you do what many times I have done and my clients have told me about, have that too little bit too long of a pity party and don't care for yourself, then it sets you back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, yes. All right. I love that. So, anything else that folks that are watching this should know about you before we dive into the details or that you want to share until we talk just a little bit more details about the webinar?
I'd like to plug a show that my performance company is putting on next month. It's called Bleeding Hearts Burlesque, and it's like a dark twist on classic burlesque and kind of cabaret. It is Friday and Saturday, February 9th and 10th. It is aerial arts and dance to live music by Honey Vixen, which is a female local duo. And all the info can be found on my Instagram, In the Air with Mere, Mere. And you can also find me on Facebook. I have a business page that's also called In the Air with Mere. So yeah.
Yeah, love it. Yes, go follow Mare, follow her exploits, her adventures. She's got her dance adventures, her bodybuilding adventures, her Tahoe adventures, her cats, all of the things that everyone wants to see.
Yes.
And if anybody has any questions or they want to know more specific things about the webinar, please do drop them in the comments here. I'm just going to give you guys a little deets. So it is on February 3rd, right, Mare? The 3rd.
Yes. Saturday. It's a Saturday.
Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. You can do the math if you're not on Pacific, and it's free. We set aside 2 hours to do this workshop because the work itself that we'll work through, it will probably take about an hour, hour and a half tops. And then I like to leave that white space there so folks can ask questions, be interactive. So this webinar, I'm calling it a webinar, but it's not traditionally like a strict webinar in Zoom. It's set up as a meeting So we'd love to see your beautiful face. We'd love to hear your beautiful voice. We want to hear people ask questions, and I really hope, like, we really hope that you do, because the more you interact with this, the more you're going to get out of it. I also recommend that you always have your little notebook with you or something to write with. Really setting aside those 2 hours for yourself and making sure that you are as undistracted as you can be. I get it. Maybe you got to like wash your kids or walk the dog. But it'll be helpful to have a piece of paper in front of you and really like work through the process. I also have a free um, ebook, my Empower Start ebook, and some of the things that we'll do in the webinar are loosely based off of that ebook. You can print the ebook out, or you can get the PDF and just kind of have that in front of you, because we will talk about some of those things as well. You can find that. I'll drop it in the comments here or on any, I think it's like in the, what do they call it? Like the pinned post here in this group. It's everywhere. If you don't have it, go grab it. It's free. It's a free download. And just, yeah, especially in the beginning, because we're going to do a meditation in the beginning of the webinar. And the meditation is to help you be present. One of the things that I find people struggle with the most in anything is just being so distracted, right? Like your kids are over there, your dog's over there, like the internet, social scrolling, Netflix, like the news, whatever. I mean, we all get distracted by all of these things. So when we're doing deep work, which is what this is my air quotes for deep work, we want to be as present as possible. So we're going to spend, I don't know, the meditation's like maybe 10 minutes, maybe. Don't be afraid of meditation, people. It's just sitting and being quiet. And if you want to walk while you do it, it's okay. No judgment. We can't see you. But just taking a little time to clear your mind so you can make that space to have some really inspired thinking, right? Because there's a quote, I don't know who said it, but I've heard it a million times in different ways. It's like goals are just like another way of interpreting dreams, essentially, right? Like a dream is just a big goal. And in this webinar, we're going to figure out like, okay, if my dream is to do something huge, like a bodybuilding contest, or maybe it's just to like, I don't know, be able to play with my grandkids. Those are all perfectly good goals. Whatever my big goal is, what are the things that I need to do to get there, really? And that's the part that sometimes we skip. And I think it's because it's not as like glamorous as thinking about the big goal, right? So we're going to dig in, and we need to have a clear head for that. So make sure you have space, make sure you have your pen, your piece of paper, and just like a good attitude, and you're ready to learn and share as much as you feel comfortable sharing. We want you to if you want to. So anything else you can think of, Mary, we need to tell them before we pop off?
I don't think so. I think you covered it all.
Yay. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you have questions, drop them in the comments below. I just wanted to get Mare's beautiful face on here too. We'll probably do 1 or 2 more of these before the webinar. And tell your friends, because they can all come until we run out of seats. I think I have 100 seats in my Zoom room. So we still got quite a few seats available. And we want to see you all there. Oh, and we will have some little treats for you guys. I almost forgot to mention. Mare and I both have some different programs and things coming up. So we'll tell you more about those at the webinar, and we'll maybe give you some little discount codes or something. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, some goodies.
Yeah, goodies for everybody. All right, you guys, I'm Coach Christine in the air with
I'm there.
Mare. Yes, beautiful.
Thank
We'll see you
you.
guys next time.
Bye.